Hello there everyone and welcome back to Modded Minecraft. We are back again with Shneeky and this time Kate for the first time in 3 weeks?
I don't know, a while.
Something like that, yeah.
Long enough.
So, greetings.
Hello. I've done a few things off camera.
You've been busy. I see you built an endothermic pump, which is making us obsidian.
Yeah, I figured it was about high time we got obsidian on farm, and well, it was fairly straightforward. It's got an aqueous accumulator underneath it. You could move it pretty much anywhere you want.
Yeah. I guess if we really wanted, we could just use energy and cobblestone to get the magma as well in a pinch, but I like this better. We'll drain the nether dry. Sounds good to me. What will become
like
our...
There isn't like a lot of lava in the nether, and it's running on a magmatic dynamo that's hooked up to itself, so. Cool.
And
Ow.
Here, I'll show you where the yellorium dust processing is moved over to this little dedicated alloy furnace right here. It's just, it should be set to furnace only. It was just something.
Excellent.
It was just something I could make really quickly. Way easier to make than the Mekanism one, to be honest.
Yeah. Also, I have set up a redundant secondary backup power system specifically for the AE system.
Yes, speaking of which, why don't we... That's actually something we should do today, too. God, so many things to do. Is it set up here as well as the other base?
Well, I will show you what's set up over here. I haven't had a chance to hide it yet, so we come around here, and we'll notice there's a tesseract with a couple of biofuel generators.
Ah.
And these are each producing 160 redstone flux per tick, which looks like it's about enough to run most of the AE system by itself. And you'll notice that they run on biofuel.
Yeah. I also noticed that it is rapidly running out.
That is probably because the other end of that tesseract is currently not chunk loaded because it is over in the village. Why don't we go over there and I'll show you the other side.
Sounds good. Village. All those pages. I got to revisit some of these locations at some point. So...
Yeah, I've got plans for that hungry node.
No kidding. We found 2 of them actually, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I don't know what we'd do with 2 of them. I suppose really expensive garbage.
Actually, no. That's going to be our end-game Vis production system.
Yeah.
But here is where the magic happens, Captain. We've got another harvester here that's got some additional plants. You've got 9 barrels. Each of these barrels has a different item that we've got on farm over there.
Oh, you mentioned that.
Now, yeah, what we have here is a signalum retriever. Now, the thing about the signalum and the enderium retrievers is that they can act like the old Buildcraft supply pipes. Keep specifically this number of these things in this inventory, and I set that number to 32. And so when you look in the actual thing, you'll notice that you've got the stack of 64 at the bottom of each of these things, and then you've got 32 of each in these things. And when one of them gets used, you'll notice that they fill back up to 32.
Now,
this is what is producing the biofuel at maximum efficiency. It should be producing the biofuel faster than the biofuel is being used over on the other side, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I need to look into that.
Well, you don't have a buffer, so you might want to... Oh, the reactor's off. The nuclear reactor's off. We might be running down.
That might... Well, even so, at maximum capacity, the 2 biofuel generators should not be consuming enough. It should not be consuming 1.425 buckets per tick, which is what we're producing.
Might not hurt to put a barrel or some a liquid barrel or something on this to store fluid, sort of as a buffer.
That might be a good idea. Yes, we can install that at some point. But this was basically because this requires no energy other than what is needed to harvest the crops that's being produced upstairs with the wind generator.
Yeah.
So this is kind of even if we run out of yellorium, we still have a way to at least power the AE network so that we can access our stuff to get it, whatever is problematic, back online.
If we wanted to get really fancy, you could even set it up so that those are only active if the reactor is offline, or if the reactor is if the fuel energy runs too low. But that's a job for not that important at this point.
Right. Also, I happen to disable the Ender Lily seeds down here because we already had 128 stacks of Ender Pearls. So have fun.
Yeah. So today's projects, what are you going to be working on, Shneeky?
Well, I figured I was going to be kind of helping you.
Okay, we're going to get the, let's start by getting the alloy production up and running. We talked about this after last episode's recording.
Yes, we really do need to set up an alloy smelter to do alloy smelting recipes specifically so that we can just make them from the AE network.
Yeah, and I am just about ready to go on that. I've got one just about ready to fire up here.
We actually won't need a chest for that. It can put straight into the alloy smelter.
Does it work? I've had ups and downs with that. I guess it's Mekanism that doesn't work properly with it.
Yeah, Mekanism doesn't always like it, but the alloy smelter loves those things.
That makes this real easy then, because we just configure. Okay, this might take no time at all, because we set this to be a push-pull interface, and in theory, it should just take the recipes. So I'm putting the 3 ones you encoded. So we're going to put your Enderium base recipe, or the Enderium. Yeah, this is a different one. What's the Enderium base?
Enderium base is one of 2 steps in making the Enderium nuggets using the alloy smeltery. It's the first step.
Okay.
And then the next step is requires pyrotheum, which is why I'm working on getting blazes on farm.
That brings around a really interesting question for me, which is what happens when you have 2 different crafting recipes on an AE network?
Hey, so question.
Because you
how
now
do
have...
I turn?
Go ahead.
Sorry. How do I turn on my
your wood spitter?
log dropper? Yeah.
You close the redstone loop and turn it back into a clock.
So I need red.
Yeah. You just need to turn that into a loop, and you're good to go.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just making sure there wasn't like a switch somewhere.
No, we never put a switch in.
Just a redstone.
Shneeky, do you know what happens when Applied Energistics has 2 recipes for the same product?
Yeah, it doesn't like it.
Okay, so we need to pick either the one that I built or the Enderium based one. And we might as well use the Enderium based one, and we can repurpose this smeltery for other things.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good idea, but the downside to that, number 1, it will take for bloody ever. And number 2, if you have anything else in that smeltery, like, say, the gold that you had from smelting the horse armor down, that will stop it from working. And it also consumes lava that you didn't have an input for. So,
well, the lava I was going to solve. Your endothermic pump would actually take care of that now. But yeah, the only reason I didn't have the other recipe in there was because of the blaze shortage. And why don't we leave the this recipe as the one I've got set up as the primary until you've got the blaze farm up and running. We'll just reserve a spot for it until blazes are on full farm. Because this recipe.
Yeah, that shouldn't take me too long at all. I've already got the powered spawner. I just need to set up the actual location for it.
I'm going to throw it in the chest in the corner, in the iron chest in the bedroom area. There's a bunch of random crap in there, and I've just thrown that your pattern for the, just so we know where it is.
Ah, that works.
Oh, and Enderium base still works the same way. That's cool. So, if we wanted the nugget, or sorry, the pulsating. Did we do one for the? No, I didn't do that one yet, did I? All right, let's get the basics then. We need.
Also, it can be used to make signalum as well.
All right, so pulsating iron ingot is iron and an ender pearl. iron. So I'm just encoding a few recipes here. Pearl.
Yeah, you're going to want that. You're going to want solarium, probably.
Solarium's already in there from you. You had that one already prepared. Let me see. Oh, there's that. What is it? The one for the power cables, for the various power cables. Let's start with
that
Ender.
One is redstone and iron.
Yeah. Just looking at the Ender IO. Here we are. Let's see. Vibrant alloy. Oh yeah, right. Let's start with the. Uh-oh.
Yeah, vibrant is the uber alloy.
What
yes.
Did you?
So I was making my portal spit out Dreamwood.
Oh, come on. Redstone. Now, is there any...
there's a redstone alloy, a vibrant alloy, and an energetic alloy. You need the energetic alloy to make the vibrant alloy, which is like your uber tier alloy, and the redstone alloy is what's used in making. That's actually going to be redstone and silicon. That's used in making the redstone conduit to to be able to run redstone signals around, but otherwise not too terribly useful. What you're looking for is the one that's iron and redstone.
I have a question. Is there any way to encode a pattern for an item you don't have?
What item do we not have?
Say we don't. This is just an example. Say I haven't actually crafted any conductive iron yet, and I want to make the applied energistics pattern for it. Is there any way to get that recipe in there, or do I just have to craft one and be done with it?
Actually, there is a way. What you can do is use the NEI interface. What you do is, for example, you type in the terminal conductive. You'll notice over in NEI, conductive iron shows up. Go ahead and click on it, find the recipe you want, shift ? And it should drop it in the pattern terminal.
There is no shift ? For the alloy smelter.
In that case, no, you're just going to have to put in the pieces manually.
Okay. Good to know. Just one of those little features that we, what would you call it? Wish we had, but we don't, so. Okay,
and so it's fairly minor.
Redstone plus iron nugget produces. Which one was it? The redstone alloy. No, sorry, not the redstone alloy. The conductive iron. Yeah. Do I have any conductive iron? Yes, I do. Good news. All right. Conductive iron, we're going to want to get the Ender. What else do we need? We'll need the energetic alloy, which requires redstone, gold, glowstone.
Yep, vibrant, which is going to require energetic, and electrical steel as well.
It requires electrical. Oh, the third one,
well,
which means we also need to teach it how to make electrical steel, because we don't have that on farm yet either.
Well, that doesn't require electrical steel, but we are going to require electrical steel at some point for various projects. So we're going to want to have that on farm as well.
All right. Well, so I just need to confirm. Yes, that works the way I remember. Excellent. But the good news is that I can make this energetic alloy quickly, and the rest of the recipe gets retained. Oh, right, it's gold. It's gold. Almost had it right. We might actually have to make this thing a little more sophisticated. Actually, now that I look at it. There's enough recipes here. Alright, why is it not... There we go. Why is this filter not clearing? Okay, there we go. There we go. We're up to 400 gold again, so we're getting a little better.
Yep, that's definitely an improvement over where we were.
We were almost down to nothing, Kate.
Oh, really?
Yep. I may have abused our supply slightly.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Oh, I didn't... Power! Power! These things require power. Yes, they do. Good thing I have conduits on me. There we go. Now, if this is working right, it should spit this alloy I'm making back into the system. Ooh, we need a capacitor to speed it up.
Yeah, the best capacitor is the octadic capacitor. You're going to need at least a quad capacitor, though, to be able to get it to run right.
I'll get the double layer to start here. Oh, which means we're going to need that energetic alloy that's crafting right now. That's hysterical. All right, well, we'll get through this one item at a time.
Okay, it should be in the system by now.
Okay. It is not as of yet.
It is no longer in the alloy smelter. It should have thrown it back into the ambient interface.
Unless there was only... Oh, there wasn't... We need a second one. We need a second one. There wasn't one in the system, which is why I had to smelt it in the first place.
Ah.
Glowstone and redstone. Oh, actually, I could have just encoded this stupid pattern here, because now I have the...
Yeah, go ahead and grab that out of the crafting terminal, and you can encode the pattern and then just tell it, hey, yeah. I need more of this.
Yep. Energetic.
That is one of the things that I really enjoy about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Craft one, and then craft the rest. It is a great and fine thing. Which means I also don't have to be carrying all this around.
It happens to be nighttime. If we want to turn off the rain, we can all go to bed and turn off the rain.
That would not be a horrible thing.
Okay, let's do it.
Remind me I was getting a shovel.
Okay. Oh, our bed supply has been reduced because we broke them all before doing our move. Next, my backpack. Sleeping bag. I have no idea.
Probably in your backpack.
Nope, I already looked. It is not in there.
Okay, well, while I'm waiting for this, I'm going to go check on my oven thing.
Make sure it doesn't scorch. All right. Nice.
Looks like that worked.
Sunny morning it is. One. Here comes the second one. All right, now we have one. Excellent. We have one vibrant alloy in hand. And that requires an ender pearl and the energetic. Whoops. I hope that did not mess up the recording there. Shouldn't have. Energetic. There we are. Put that. And that. And encode. Okay, and now we get the capacitor so that that thing will run a lot faster. That will do for now. I'm gonna have to teach the system how to make these capacitors at some point, I think. Pattern for vibrant alloy. Capacitor to speed things up. And I think I'll get electrical steel will be the last one for this one.
Yeah, now you can also do signalum as well. That might not be a bad one to have on hand for crafting.
Okay.
It's just going to be some copper, some silver, and some redstone.
Yeah, I'll get it in a minute. We're actually going to be out of slots on there if we're reserving a spot for your Enderium blend recipe.
Are we already running out of slots?
Yeah, have a look.
Oh wow!
It adds up fast. Let's see. We need.
Also, there's one other thing that I would like to do to be able to save on our nether quartz, which we are starting to run low on.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of using fused quartz, we can use reinforced glass in almost every recipe. which only requires a little bit of lead, which we have no other real uses for and have thousands of in there, and obsidian, which we now have on farm.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get that set up as well then. Silicon, iron, and... Dang it. I'm blanking on things today.
We may actually need to have multiple interfaces on that alloy smelter to be able to have all the recipes.
I think there's no reason why we shouldn't have 2 smelters sharing 2 interfaces. That'll speed everything up quite a bit.
Valid.
And if we use a pair of item conduits on that, we can actually speed the whole thing up quite a bit. Chassis. I'm just going to do that quickly. And then that'll give us room to have the whole thing expandable by adding more interfaces on it as we see fit. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, so we'll just move this smelter over by 1. Put those right there. Put smelter and smelter.
Now, one thing is the alloy smelter recipe requires pulverized obsidian, not just regular obsidian and lead. So you're actually going to need to have a recipe for making pulverized obsidian out of obsidian.
All right, well, will that work? We'll just have to figure out which device to do it in, because I do have... I think I have a crusher...
Sag mill, crusher, something along those lines. Let me check.
I gotta get this. If the sag mill works, I gotta get the sag mill rigged up for making silicon, anyways. So. Oh, but now we're using, of course, the Ender IO conduits, so they don't work directly with platinum.
No, it's got to be a sag mill. It's not actually a recipe available in Mekanism.
Oh, that's cool. I wanted to actually get the sag mill automated today anyways, because we're going to need automation for coal dust and silicon. I don't have that automated yet.
Yeah, that's going to need to be done as well. Also, I've put a bunch of flint in the sag mill. It makes it run a little bit more efficiently and faster and, better.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that that is... we could probably make sure that's requested as part of recipes, couldn't we?
You're not going to need a 1-for-1. It's like a 1-for-10 recipe, so that would be like massively overstocking it.
We'll insert on black, and we'll...
What you could do is just have a requester basically requesting as much as it can take of flint, and then done.
Okay, so theoretically this should work. Let's find out. Just request an electrical steel. Hold on. I hate it when this happens. The filter that I have... Interesting quirk. If you go into your inventory to look for something in filter and forget to delete the filter is retrained when you load up the applied Energistics. But it doesn't show up in the terminal. What happened to my... Hold on. I thought I set up electrical steel. Did I not put the electrical steel pattern in or something? I did not. That would be why. Why can't I craft electrical steel? Because I picked the one thing that I had not actually put into the system yet. There we go. Actually, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Craft 1 steel, and we'll craft 1... I just want to see if it's going to use both of these properly. I'm going to craft 1 solarium. Now, if all has worked properly, both of these furnaces should be working here in a second. It got the pulverized obsidian for the solarium, but it didn't get any of the other parts. Interesting. Is there some secondary material for solarium that we don't have in the system?
No, solarium should be able to request everything. It doesn't require pulverized obsidian, though. It requires soul sand.
Alright, I wonder how the pulverized obsidian wound up in there then. Where would that have come from?
Pulverized obsidian I'm making because that's going to be needed for hardened glass.
Oh, I see. I see what's happened. We've got a cross connection just happened here. Fixed. What happens when you pack things a little too close together? Done. That should keep that from happening. I wound up... Some pulverized obsidian wound up in the... So I have your pulverized obsidian, is long story short.
That's okay. I got the pattern taken care of. It's going to be another alloy smelting recipe.
Alright, well... We've got our first alloy smelter here. I'll go get another interface here so we can do a second one. But it seems to have worked. Yeah, it made an electrical steel. Good to go. Alright, so we need another capacitor, which is going to need 2 more of that. And then... Yeah. Alright, so we need an interface, which fortunately we have a whole bunch of here. Now hopefully there's space on this particular chunk of conduit for more. Find out, is this on the network? We'll find out soon enough. We'll just move electrical steel to the new location. So we're going to have to reconfigure all the predefined patterns to use the hardened glass, aren't we? Is that the plan?
At least temporarily, because fused quartz eats up 4 nether quartz each.
Mm-hmm. And we're always hurting on we're going to wind up hurting on that if we're not careful.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. No, that's an excellent call. I approve. Okay. So where is my main line here? There it is. 12 of 32. All right, we still got room on the channel here. Good. Thanks to my subnet, my work, the subnet's not overloaded anymore.
Ah, excellent. Yes.
All right. It's SAGMill interface time. Out with the
There we go. I think I've got my mana spreaders all sorted out.
Good. That
Everything seems to be draining. Yeah. Well, I had to get a new ones, and I made a bunch of elven ones, and it's just
ongoing evolution.
Yep.
All right, here we go. On the network. There we go. Okay. We have a SAGMill interface now.
We also have an interesting visitor.
Oh? Oh, hello. We have a pigman. Okay, now...
Yeah, we may want to consider disabling these nether portals to prevent unpleasant neighbors from barging in.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought. Okay, I have another question for you.
Okay.
The SAGMill does not produce things consistently, right? Like the percentage chance on, let's just silicone, for example. Silicone from the SAGMill, okay, it's 100% in the pulverizer, but in the SAGMill, sand is a 50-50 chance. Maybe I better do the silicone and the pulverizer. At least that's got a 100% chance of producing it. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. What you can do is you can ignore the percentages, and anything bonus is bonus.
Fair enough, but so how much sand do you send then to make sure you get a silicone? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if
don't you already have silicone production for your AE system?
No. No, this is something I hadn't gotten to yet. Silicone was kind of, now that I have sand fully automated, silicone was going to be next on the list.
Well, it says a 50% chance to produce 1 silicone from sand.
Mm-hmm.
This actually, you're right. That might be better to do with a pulverizer where it's just a guaranteed 1-for-1.
Yep. Okay, I'll set that up in the auto production line here.